Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they make it so weird. Okay. All right, so we are officially live. We got the guys from Nowhere to Run Arm Wrestling with us. Anybody joining us, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. So once again, we are going to be talking about the upcoming event, North vs. South in Bakersfield, California, which is this Saturday, and we are all hyped about it. This is a California Supermatch Series where we've just got some very well-crafted matches, both up-and-comers and seasoned pros, up to some serious heavy hitters. So today we wanted to talk with the Nowhere to Run arm wrestling guys, and who are also responsible for this event. Let's start out by just getting everyone's names first. So we've got Josh Edwards up here, and we've got Mr. Casey Stevens, and we got Mr. Benny Ringer. How's it going, Benny? And looks like Felix. I want to get your last name right.
It's Breen.
Just Breen?
Yeah, Breen works. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll take it. Hey, I'm used to it. Nobody gets my last name right ever. Yeah, we got Lawrence Osborne. I like that name. Cool name.
Mm-hmm.
And we got Juan Marilis. Okay, Marilis. All right. And we've got Manjot down here as well. Manjot, go ahead and just click your camera and your audio on. And we've also got Mr. Jeremy Dooley there. How's it going, everybody? How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good.
Doing awesome.
He's in his gaming room.
What's happening?
Hey, back your big go head up, Jeremy.
What's your son's name, Josh?
My son is Evan. Come here, Evan. Come say hi. Come say hi to everybody.
What's up, Evan?
What up, buddy?
I heard about you. I heard you love to arm wrestle. Yeah? Right on.
You want to say anything?
Sure.
Are we gonna see you at the event?
What?
He's talking to you. Are they going to see you at the event? Talk to him.
Yes.
All right. Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
I want to get off.
He's camera shy.
Yeah.
I would not expect that, him being my son, but hey, it's all right.
Hey, I'm shy too. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. All right. So, Mr. Josh, you've been on all these recent live streams to promote the event and everything, and we've met with a lot of northern guys, southerner guys, and I'd like to take a minute so we can learn a little bit about you, your backstory in the sport, how you came into it, and just kind of lead us up to how this team started, and we'll go from there.
Okay. My name is Josh Edwards, for everybody who doesn't know. I live in Fresno, California. I'm a father of 4 with a beautiful wife going on 20 years. So I got into arm wrestling like a lot of the, newer age right now, the new era with the arm bet, watching the YouTube. Devin Larrett, Travis Bajent, all the different things. I definitely seen the Game of Arms show when it was on TV back in the day. I've liked the sport since Over the Top. The movie had like a sentimental thing with me. My dad was a trucker that, took off and blah, blah, blah. So I liked the movie for that. Fell in love with the whole, competition part of it. The little guy going against the huge guy. Yeah. A sport where, anything is possible is super cool. And then, watching the videos, I got super into it. Really liked the whole, back and forth with it. The WAL that was on TV was real cinematic. It was a really cool vibe. And then arm bet. So I found that and I reached out to some people. Actually, the first guy that I had met that was like with us that we trained with, his name was Travis. He lived in Merced. and he drove down to Fresno. We met at the park. We arm wrestled on like a bench, right? The freedom style, Casey. Yeah, we arm wrestled on the bench. We thought it was cool. You know, we met another guy the next week. Then we started, you know, training at his house a little bit in Merced for, you know, a few months, whatever. Casey had ended up coming around. I tried to reach out to Casey in the very beginning because on Armbet next to his name it said Early Bird, right? So he was one of the first people to have the app, and I was like, cool, let me reach out to this guy, but he never responded, and I was like, dang. Well, he ended up going to Merced, you know, the same people that I was over there training with. We pulled like once or twice, a couple times. He had came around, and then he was doing his own thing for a few months, whatever had happened. When he had came back around, we threw like a little event. The team that you had on yesterday, the Central Coast Pullers, they came. Santino and Leo and Michael Kochi, they came. And yeah, so we got some guys together. We had some super matches. It was really cool. And you know, from that point forward, I was just like, I had the Nowhere to Run thing, the name. The idea at first behind it for me, because I come from a background of like fundraising and charity as far as work, and I came from like you know, poverty-stricken neighborhoods and whatever you want to call it, tough situations. So I've always had a spot for kids that come from those same type of situations, and I wanted to start a thing called Nowhere to Run. That's like a charity for at-risk youth that obviously have nowhere to run, like, you know, hence the play on words. And it would be like a sports program where they could have mentors and build a relationship with positive people, keeping them away from drugs and gang violence and things like that. The name just like was perfect. So we ran with that. I had some t-shirts made, and I was like, you know, Casey was super excited about it with me in the beginning. He was like the only one that was excited like I was. Everybody else was, you know, they arm wrestle once in a while and then they don't want to do it anymore or whatever. And he was like, dude, I'm all in. Right. And I was like, let's do this. So we started traveling on the road everywhere. Like we went everywhere. Our average travel time to practice for the first year was a couple hours. Like we'd go 4 hours just to go to practice. And
wow.
Then you know, for the longest time, just until late last year, as a matter of fact, it was like it was Casey and I who were just rolling around, and then Benny came into the picture, and then the other guys, you know, trickled in after that and everything. So yeah, like we just rolled around. We met as many people as we could. We made these connections. People really liked our dedication, that we were willing to go wherever, you know. Also, one of the things that we liked about Nowhere to Run that Casey said was, I like it because like they have nowhere to run. We're going to come to you. You know, and so like all of these things, like the ideas bounced really well off each other. And we both just had the same excitement. So we went around, we met all these people, connections were made, doors were open. And moving forward, then we had some guys who, you know, joined the team, these guys that you see now, excited about what we're doing. And yeah, just helped it build from there. And it's gotten bigger. We did a couple of more super match get-togethers after the first one we did. The first one was in February of last year, and then we did one in April, and then we did the last one in November on the 5th in Turlock. And again, they were just get-togethers, teams coming together and having a day of super matches and fun and food. And so this is the first one that's turned out to be this big, massive thing. We got a venue, and I wish Eric was on here because he's helped out so much with this. He plugged me in with Bailey. I started talking to Bailey, got that relationship built. Bailey welcomed us in. We got the venue taken care of. He helped us with flyers and different things like this. Like, he's helped a ton. Benny, all of the guys have helped a ton, like just getting together and being a team, because I think that we all have the same mindset that, you know, like team together, everyone achieves more, right? And so we're all working towards a common goal. We want to get strong. We're practicing, and look what's happening. You know, everybody's getting together and they're excited. And so yeah, so I mean, that's kind of to sum it up right there. That's how it started. Nowhere to Run started, you know, I started it, I think, almost 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I mean, you guys moved at a fast pace. It really goes to show how much this sport is growing. even though you guys had to travel pretty far, it sounds like Armbet was helpful. Yeah, it seems like you guys grew just really quickly, and I like the organic flow of how you made it work to get this going, and creating your own events and everything to be able to have that tournament and competition experience and get your other local teams involved. That's fantastic, man. And yeah, Eric is a great guy. It's been nice getting to know him, and really cool that he made that connection with this venue. This venue looks like it's going to be amazing, you know?
Yeah, it's a great place. I actually spoke with Bailey, the owner, again this morning, and yeah, he's like, "Hey, man, I love this thing. Like, I'm looking forward to doing this more and more. It might become a arm wrestling brewery." So, you know, but yeah, I mean, he's all in. He loves what's going on, and he has a bunch of military, you know, friends and vendors that are coming to be a part of it and help out. And so, yeah, everybody's coming together. The Bakersfield community is excited about it as well. So, yeah,
I like it. Yeah. And just real quick, welcome Jeremy Dooley, and we also had Matt come in.
How's it going,
What's up,
guys?
Matt?
What's up, Matt?
Can you hear me?
Hey.
And Mr. River Welch as well. I've seen you around online. I don't think I've pulled or met River, but yeah, we're gonna go around to everybody, get some backstories, talk about your matches and everything. And as we're continuing with each person, feel free to jump into the conversation, you know, regarding whatever you're talking about. So your match that you have, Josh, with Niles, that's lefty, right?
Yeah, left-handed.
Yeah. Okay.
My
What-
left
what-
hand is my smart arm. My right arm is
Ooh.
my strong arm. Right.
Isn't that weird how that works? You know.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: in life, are you right-handed or left-handed?
Yeah, I'm right-handed. Yeah.
But your
Yeah.
left hand is your smart hand arm wrestling.
Yeah, well, because so arm wrestling as a kid or whatever, you know, growing up, I only had the idea that you cup and you just turn in. So for the longest time, that's all I ever did, and I only arm wrestled right hand growing up because I'm right-handed. I didn't even know that, you know, whatever. So it formulated that way, and I believe with all the micro injuries of using this hand every day, I play guitar, you know, a lot of different things that have probably made this thing more stiff and less mobile. My left came into the sport learning the proper way from the beginning, right? So it only was able to learn the right thing to do. So yeah, it does all the other stuff. Tom Nelson told me about a month ago, he said, "Man, if you could teach your right arm to do what your left arm is doing," he goes, "you'd be a force, man." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, it's different, but
Yeah,
I'm excited for it.
That shows. I think that gives a lot of perspective in several areas of coming in. Even if you're just a new arm wrestler that has no background in it, no strength background or anything, it's kind of the same thing. You know, you're coming in as an empty canvas to learn properly instead of bad habits. One other little thing that I've noticed with between the right and left dynamic is, at least for me, and it seems to be this way for a lot of people, their offhand, whatever hand they don't use in life, like to write or throw a ball or whatever, oftentimes they're tighter, their form is better, their access to other large muscle groups seems to be. Yeah, like for me, my dominant hand, you know, I had a really hard time learning the first year because I was out here just trying to do everything with this, where like the left was just, you know, this perfect synergy coming in and tighter. But yeah, it's weird how that happens and how people can be so much stronger on their left. So Niles is out of where?
You know what? I don't even know. Like, I honestly don't know. The only time I've ever pulled him was down in San Diego. So like,
you have pulled him. Okay.
Yeah. I pulled him one time before. We've after pulled a little bit and messed around, but yeah, I pulled him one time before. It was at the compound, as a matter of fact. So it wasn't San Diego, it was Riverside.
Right on. Gosh, I wish I if he was there, then I'll know him when I see him.
I mean, he's a brick shit house, man. I mean, he's one of those dudes that has like no body fat and he muscles on top of muscles and everything, and you know, shit. But you know, what can I do?
Very cool, man. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And Casey, so yeah, Josh kind of ran through his story and how that led into the team. How did you originally get into arm wrestling? Did you have a little bit of history with arm wrestling before you guys got this whole thing going?
So I never really had a real history with arm wrestling. I did it for fun because everyone just hears about it organically. It's like the tough guy thing to do. And I would arm wrestle at bars, I'd arm wrestle my other coworkers and stuff. And so that's how I was kind of introduced, just like the bar style. And then I started popping up online with Devin Lorett. And then I saw the Pulling John. That came out, and that interests me a ton because seeing a guy who looked like my dad, like pretty average build, and he's pinning all these monsters, and it motivated me. I'm like, okay, I really got to look into this because I was a hard ass that thought, oh, if you bend your wrist at all, you're cheating. If you move your body at all, you're cheating, because I had no idea how the sport was actually ran.
Yeah.
And so I started following it online for a while. I didn't know any teams near the area, and then ArmBet came out, and I got on ArmBet, and I think Josh was one of the first people I saw, and I noticed on the app you can log a record on there. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna challenge this guy real quick. I'm gonna beat his ass so I could put it on the app, and everyone will see I beat someone in my area. And then Benny, I've known Benny through some friends, and I think he was one of the first people I ever like really arm wrestled with, someone who at least knew about the world.
Yeah.
And super strong. It actually, I feel like it made us both want to get into it even more when we first pulled each other. And so I got in touch with Josh and then Travis, and then I go out to Merced, and that was super motivating, getting a bunch of guys wanting to do it. Kept going out there for a while. Then we got in touch with Caleb, and we went out to Mike McGraw's place. And I feel like that was one of the first places where I really, really wanted to do it. It became an obsession after that because I'm meeting all these legends I've seen online. And all these guys are excited to teach me stuff, and just pure obsession now ever since then. And we still go up there. We still train in town. And yeah, we traveled everywhere. My first tournament was at Paddy Pool last year, and I got gold, and motivated me even more because I was freaking terrified up till. And yeah, every tournament I went to, I was doing well, undefeated for a while on my right, and struggled with, and I should go pro or not, because winning felt good, and I knew if I went to pro, it'd be a climb again. But that motivated me too. So I've gone pro since the beginning of this year. We're open, and not looking back.
Congratulations,
and
man. Good for you.
Yeah, and if I got two matches, and one of them's ranked 12 on the right, and the other one's ranked 14 on the left, I believe. So I'm gonna super serious, and yeah, I'm coming in aggressive.
Isn't that exciting? I mean, we've been in this sport for less than 2 years, and Casey's going to be number 12 and 14 on Saturday.
It's wild. It's wild. Yeah, yeah, I love it. They don't call you the grizzly bear for nothing, man. So can you give us a little more on your opponents? What are the names?
All right, so Waldo on the right.
Waldo, yep.
I met him at the SoCal meetup. I had a fun super match with Emil, and that was a war, a lot of fun. I met Waldo there, and he said he just started, And we first gripped up and I saw his hand and I was blown away. I was like, whoa, what is this? Like,
yeah.
I've seen one guy from Europe who had it, I believe, Ole. And I was like, oh man, this is wild. And he was still learning. So I was still able to pull him pretty like easily in the beginning. I was able to top roll him there, but he was just very strong. And then we met up at the LA Expo and he was pulling open. And as I was coming up to the table, I'm like, oh, okay, this shouldn't be a problem at all. I was able to top roll him even with his huge hand. And I hit into a top roll, and he just stuffs it and just overtakes my entire hand and just hooks me. And I was blown away. And that was only, I want to say, like 2 months after we just pulled at SoCal. And just his progression is just unreal. And he jumped up a bunch of ranks because he also pinned some other people that day. And it's a tournament, so you don't get another chance at it. You're pinned once and like, oh, well, it is what it is now. I can't really prove that I can beat him. So I didn't care what rank he was. I just knew I wanted to go against him again. And he agreed. So I'm super excited about that. My other match, Sergio, he was at my very first tournament in Paddy Pool. I think he's been pulling open since I started. And he's always looked super strong. I've always like watched from afar. I've never after pulled with him. But he's pinned guys I haven't been able to pin. And that's super motivating to me because that's what I look for now to show I've gained is beating these guys where at a time I wouldn't be able to do anything with. So yeah, he's a monster. I even think he placed at the most recent Paddy Pool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Right on. Yeah, that's what this is all about. It's about, well, it's not all it's about, but there's a lot of matches that are going to shake up the rankings, and that's pretty cool, man.
And I'm coming in more aggressive than I ever have. Like, I'm treating this like a real fight. Like, I'm not holding back, and I hope they don't either.
Well, that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Casey mad. All right. Well, I'm definitely looking
only on the
forward to that,
table. I'm gonna be
Casey.
nice otherwise.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. So
He's like Teddy Ruxpin.
what's that? Teddy Ruxpin.
He's like Teddy Ruxpin. That's Casey.
Are you that old too? You know what Teddy Ruxpin is?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that old, but I'll be 40 this year.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting up there. Yeah,
I
that
believe I
was.
still have one.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Kane. How old are you?
I'm 42.
Bro,
Wow.
what are you eating, man? Oh my God, you look great, bro. That's ridiculous.
No, I'm just really immature, bro. That's all it is. Just don't.
No, man, you look
just don't grow
25, bro.
up.
You must be living up in the snow. They got you on ice. You're preserved. I see what it is.
I'm about to say he looks pretty too. He looks like he's
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, back in the 80s, it was all about Teddy Ruxpin and the My Buddy doll.
My buddy, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. And Kid Sister after that. I remember my parents got me the My Buddy doll, and that doll came out right before Child's Play, Chucky.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
you really quickly realized that Chucky, they like ripped off My Buddy. Look
Yeah,
it
it's
up.
based off same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, all they did is gave him like a red like nappy fro thing kind of thing going on, but it was the same damn doll. And God, that doll used to freak me out. I had a bunk bed, and I would put My Buddy on the top bunk and just like kick my top bunk. And then one day I said, I think my buddy's Chucky. I think he's trying to kill me. And my mom was so cool. She took My Buddy and she walked me out to the city trash can on the side of our house. She ripped his head off, threw it in the trash bin, and on trash day took me out there to see My Buddy get taken away by the city trash people.
Yeah, I used to watch all them Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I mean, that's what, like, the new stuff trips me out. But yeah, Captain Caveman, Magilla Gorilla, all that stuff. Yeah, Quick Draw McGraw, all that.
Yeah. So, and you, I didn't know you play guitar too. You're gonna have to. I'm bringing my acoustic. I'm planning to if I have room in the car. So
I'll
bring a
bring
guitar.
mine. Yeah,
Let's get a little jam
Yeah.
session on.
for sure, 100%. Yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was 12.
Oh boy. All right. Okay.
Playing and singing. I used to have a band back in the day. I used to play with like some guys down in San Diego that ended up making it, like kind of locally big or whatever on the reggae like rock scene and all that. And yeah,
Nice.
it was pretty cool.
Hell yeah. All right. We're gonna have a good time after the event. We'll get some jam sessions going for sure. So Dominic, is he still near you there?
Yeah, he's right here. There you go, and he's gone. What up,
Dominic, you kind of look like a rocker. You jam out too, or what?
No, not really. No, I help my uncle build guitars, but that's as far as my skills go. Yeah.
Really? Like electric guitars?
Yeah, my uncle, B3 guitars. Yeah, he's a professional guitar maker. He used to work for Fender and stuff. He's in like guitar magazines, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. But I'm not musically talented at all. Yeah.
You sing country though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh heck yeah! All right, well we'll back you up after the event. We'll get something twangy going.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can country freestyle about the event, and we'll get it on tape for sure.
We'll give it a shot.
Yeah. All right. So what's your story, Dominic, with arm wrestling? Where did this thing start?
Well, for me, I've always, tried to involve myself in combat sports and, strongman sports, stuff like that. As a kid, mom threw me in Taekwondo and all that. So I did Taekwondo. I wrestled in junior high and high school, stuff like that. And then as I got older, I got into like bodybuilding and powerlifting and stuff like that a lot more. And so it was all a goal to get big for me. I was trying to see how big I could get. I ended up just getting really plump, and I was like 345 pounds, just big plump guy. And I got tired of my dad playing with my tits. And so I started losing weight. Yeah. And yeah, as I started losing weight, I started, that's around the time Game of Arms came out. Yeah. And I started watching that, and I got really hooked. So like I literally would binge watch that over and over and over again. And so after that, sorry. But yeah, after that, it was just like, you know what? Let me see if I could find someone. And at the time, I was living out in Nashville, Tennessee, and I jumped on Facebook. Yeah, I love it out there. It's nice. Jumped on Facebook, found a group of guys, Nashville Arm Wrestling, NAW. Shout out to my guys out there in Nashville. They're a great group of strong guys. They showed me everything I know today, pretty much. And
who would we know from out there? I had no idea there was a team in Nashville.
Probably Robbie. Yeah.
Oh,
Robbie
Toby?
Russell.
Oh,
yeah.
Russell. Okay.
Yeah. Robbie goes to a lot of matches all over. The guy who pretty much trained me, taught me everything is going to be Brock Tobish. He's the old school guy, has been around the game for years. He's super heavy. Yeah. But he taught me pretty much everything I know. Yep.
Right on. So, but when you first came into this, what year was that?
It's probably 2017. Yeah, okay. I had my first tournament. I went to Tennessee State in 2019, and I took 4th place. And that was my first ever event. I pulled amateurs. So
yeah. Right on, man.
Yeah, shortly after that, moved out to San Diego, back out here to California. Mm-hmm. Moved around a bit, pulled with Alan Fisher down them for a little bit at their gym. A group of guys out there, Mike Lim out there in San Diego, Poway Pullers, I pulled with them for a while. And then after that, I moved up to the coast. I pulled with the guys you had on yesterday, everyone in that team, when I was there with them is probably like, 4 guys there. and that was it. And you know, we just kept pulling, practice with them, and then that's also how I met Josh. And so once I met Josh, you know, me and him started talking about, you know, our goals and stuff. And I liked the route that he was going with it, you know, trying to make it more of a team thing, you know, make it bigger, get everybody and their families involved, you know. And I really liked what he was doing. So I told him, hey, man, I like to be on board with you, you know. So, hey, I buckled up in my seatbelt and I've been along for the ride ever since. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I can imagine how much you've traveled in the sport has probably helped shape a lot of your path, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah, one of the disadvantages I feel like a lot of what arm wrestlers have is they'll start on a team and they get stuck on their team and then they never travel or compete anywhere.
Yeah, and you kind of get stuck with the same hand almost all the time. Every match or tournament you go to, it's a lot of the same people, you know. But I feel like I kind of got lucky, you know. It was just like life circumstances just blessed me with this path that led me into arm wrestling, and I've just been, you know, soaking it up ever since. Like I love this sport. I literally told my doctor, like, hey, if you cut my leg off, but I need my arms. Yeah.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about your match.
I'm pulling Brandon Twig. What's his name? Ryan. Yeah. And yeah, he's a great guy. Real strong puller. Nothing bad to say about him at all. This is going to be a really good match. It'll be my first match right hand since my accident. So this will be a huge test for me. Huge test.
This is Brandon, the lightweight, right?
Yes.
He is an absolute monster.
I know. I'm very much aware. We actually got to practice pull together. Was it last weekend or the weekend before at Mike McGraw's?
Yeah.
Wow,
that's going to be an interesting match. I think you can bring something to him for sure.
I'm gonna definitely. I mean, I know he's fast. He's super fast, and that's always, you know, been my kryptonite. Kind of faster guys. Yeah. And as I learned with you, real quick, you know, you smacked me around real fast. But that's the thing. If I catch him, I feel like it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a real good fight.
Right on. So you been training to try and put a stop on that?
Yeah, pretty much, you know, to working a lot of, you know, defensive, you know, stuff, and just trying to roll out of the losing position, stuff like that. Just, you know, typical work. I know who I'm pulling, so it helps a lot more. Yeah.
Very good. I look forward to that match. I think it couldn't have been crafted any better.
Oh yeah, Josh definitely did a great job. Yeah. Originally I was matched up with someone else, but I feel like this is going to be a way better match overall. Like it's going to be a spectacle for sure.
Casey and everybody too.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody else in this call pulled Brandon before?
Oh yeah. I think everyone in this call has pulled with Brandon.
Hey, I got a video of Casey letting Brandon hit on him and trying to catch him, and he flashed him. He flashed Casey.
Hold on. I wasn't load. I was giving him zero load at all.
Okay.
Zero load. I used too fast.
I want to know
the facts, buddy.
How did he flash you, up top or inside?
You know, honestly, just sideways. He just went sideways so fast. By the time I was ready to react, I was already touching the pad. And it wasn't a go. He just went. I was trying to time off of his go, and it was just too quick. My brain wasn't quick enough.
Yeah. Well, that's good training. That's part of why I love King of the Table. You know, when winner doesn't get to hit, you know, you're just trying to play defense on these guys that are going whenever the hell they want to go. But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it sharpens things up pretty good,
Yeah.
No, I mean, that it's a real hard thing to tell with something like that. I mean, obviously, Casey's right. I mean, we were just playing around and he didn't, there was no ready go. There was no loading up. But to speak more on Brandon's behalf, I mean, he's a beast. He's so intelligent on the table. That's the part that is so incredible about him. I mean, when he gets in the straps, he knows every way how to use that thing. He knows all the different pressures to give you. He doesn't let up his pressure when he's transitioning. He's 125 pounds, but technique says a lot, and experience says a lot. I mean, he started with Bill Collins and the arm benders. I mean, the dude's for real,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Speaking of the arm benders, we got Matt Hughes in here, OG arm bender, popping in. Thank you, man. The
What's
link I
happening,
gave him
man?
yesterday said tomorrow, so he didn't know, but hey.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm glad we could get you in here today. And it's a pleasure meeting you, man. I've heard a bit about you, and I also heard that you're going to be going against Mr. Lorenzo Munoz, my teammate.
Yes, sir. When did I meet Lorenzo? 2014 or so. Really good guy, lovely guy. Haven't seen him in quite a few years. I kind of took a leave of absence. Got married and just kind of got away from arm wrestling for a while because that was all I was doing, was going to practices, tournaments. I don't know if I got burnt out, and then just kind of wanted to get away from certain crowds and be with myself. So.
Well, I have a feeling you've probably been pulling longer than anybody in this call. Would I probably be right in saying that?
Been around it probably the longest. I don't know about necessarily pulling. So say, Kenny won his first tournament at 132 or 134 against Michael Boylan in Patterson or Los Banos. I think it was the Apricot Festival, Patterson. He was 14 at the time, so that would have put me 9 or 10 because he was 4.5 years older than me. So yeah, pretty much been around it since I was 9 years old. Never really fully committed to it, like kind of mess with it here and there. But,
Hey, don't let his stoic behavior fool you. He could smash every one of us in this room multiple times.
I believe it.
giving me way too much credit there, Casey.
Hey, credit where credit is due, Matt. You're a monster, bro. But I feel it,
So when did you come back from this last break? What, how long have you been training?
Like last week, first practice.
Really?
No.
Yeah, Jesus.
So I don't know. I kind of went to a practice here and there. But like I said, nothing was really drawing a blank here. I'm gonna have to cover you guys up. I don't know. The first tournament I pulled in a while was in Tuolumne, and I took second, left and right to why can't I think of his name right now? I'm really drawing a blank. Oh, this is terrible.
It's all right, man. Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't remember anything. Ask Josh. I'm like, dude, who's this guy? Who's that guy? What are we doing?
No, he's a teammate.
Is this
of
an
mine
arm
too,
wrestling
which is
podcast?
cool, but-
He's your teammate?
Yeah.
Who is it, Jody?
Yeah, Jody.
Okay.
So I took
all right.
Jody, second, left and right to Jody Smith. That was what, the 232 or 242 pound class. Wasn't super heavies, but heavies. So I felt decent. The initial power was there. So I've kind of been working on my stamina because I would fatigue really easy. So is it the last couple of practices I've been having to work 6 days a week. I come when I get off work on Saturday and there was like 15 guys left. They're like, all right, get them, so they all just tag team me back to back. I had to hold everybody for 20 seconds and then go for a pin and then take a quick break and do it with both arms and run it back again. So yeah, I quickly regretted that one. It's usually like 2 days later you start hurting. No,
yeah.
it was the next day.
That was an aggressive practice that day too at Mike's.
So
a lot of monsters there.
Since you seem to be a really humble guy, I gotta ask some of these other guys in the call, what is it like to grip up with Matt Hughes?
Like
Anybody, come on.
brick wall. It's like pulling a brick wall. That's what it is.
A brick wall. Okay.
I feel like a child. I can't even get to that wrist anywhere to go.
So I went to grip up with him, and he let me hit on him, hit as hard as I could. I probably got him. We got one more. However far he let me go, he let me take his hand. He let me do it, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, that's he's strong." All of a sudden, all he did was tweak his hand a certain way, and my whole wrist went.
Oh man. Man.
Very, very, very strong.
Are we talking about Matt still?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look it. You can feel the years in his hand. You can feel the years. He let me sink fully into a hook and commit 100%, and then slowly just took my body to my body, not my arm, my body to the other side of the table, and I was like, okay, all right. Yeah.
So is he like doing like wrist curls with you guys when he's holding you? That kind of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
He could. He's a lot nicer than that.
No, he'll let you work, but it's like any of these guys at that. I mean, Matt, I hold you to a high regard, but any of these guys at that level, him, Jody, your Tonys, your Derricks, guys that are at that level, it's hard to even feel the difference because they all feel untouchable right now,
Right.
And he's one of those guys, but he lets you work. He wants you to do better, and he's super helpful. I mean, he sits there and works with my son when he's there. I mean, yeah, he's super helpful with everybody. So.
That's
you
great.
said it, Josh. There's levels to it. Like you hold me at a certain level. My brother, I could not touch. Jody, I can't touch right now. There's
that's mind blowing.
I feel like I'm pretty decent locally, but I mean, you start getting out, and there's levels. I mean.
Yeah, but for me, working with Matt, he is so willing to watch how you pull and help you. He never aggressively yanks you across the table just to show off. He's like one of the best guys to even practice with. No matter where his level is, the way he works with you is like everyone can learn from him. And he's been around a while, so I mean, he's pulled the who's who of California, at least back in the day. And his way he teaches is great, and I love it, no matter what level he is.
Fantastic. Yeah, that really is mind-blowing to pull with someone that's a brick wall that says there's another person that's a brick wall for him. But yeah, it's one of the cool things about this sport. There's nowhere but up to go from where you're at, unless you're Levon or something like that. But yeah, it's good to meet you, Matt. And how are you feeling about your match with Lorenzo? You feeling ready for this?
Working
on his
connection.
I think
what do you all as his teammates think about his match with Lorenzo? Any of you pulled with Lorenzo who's also
Matt is part of the Armbender. I just want to make that clear.
right. Okay, right.
We all train together. You know, they welcome us to train with them and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I've pulled with Lorenzo, you know, a couple of times just for fun on the after table. Lorenzo is too much for me, so I don't know, right? But yeah, from what I feel of Matt, yeah, I think Matt's got it. You know, I think it's gonna be a fun match, and they both know each other, and Matt has talked nothing but great things about Lorenzo. So it's two friends that are seeing each other that haven't seen each other in a few years, and so that's the cool part about it. That's the whole idea behind this North versus South, is to build the community. It's this, you know, we're all going to win and lose matches, man. You know, we're going to do it. And we're going to keep doing it. You know, this is about building the community.
Left, right? This is going to be a left hand, left arm.
I believe it's going to be. I believe it's both hands with them too.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. Well, before we move on, we're going to jump over to Benny. But first, let's say hello to the chat. We've got Caleb Armbender. He's hanging out with us. He says, "Yes, sir. When do y'all drive out, Kane?" Malia and I will be heading out in the morning. We're probably going to be departing our mountain at like 10 a.m. I think we'll start heading down, and hoping to be in the Bakersfield area by, you know, or close to it by 1-ish. Get some lunch. So if any of you guys get out there midday and you want to meet up with us for lunch, we'll do that. Then we gotta do our
that's about the time that
place
Casey I think that's about the time that Casey and I are going to get there too. Casey, I believe, is driving up with his wife, and I'll be heading up around that time. So
perfect. Yeah. Let's meet up then. I'll keep you posted with our you know, our ETAs and stuff like that. We'll get a nice lunch and just kill some time before the check-in.
You might. Okay, after you're done with chats, Evan wants to do a quick little interview and tell you about what started him in arm wrestling and where he wants to go and stuff.
You do? Okay. No. Let's do this right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me about yourself, Evan. How did arm wrestling start for you?
By watching the same movie he did.
Say it again.
He showed me my dad showed me the movie Over the Top.
Oh man, that's the best movie ever. That's where it all starts. What's your favorite part of that movie?
Probably when the kid loses to the other kid and then he comes back in a while later and then he beats him. Yeah,
that is the best part of the movie. It is good. At least when you're a kid, it's the best part. That and my other favorite part was when he hustles that big guy at the bar. Remember?
Smasher.
Yeah. That was a good one. So have you competed at all yet, Evan? Have you had any matches?
Like, was it last year?
Yeah, Patty Pool. Or no, it was
Grinder Gym.
It was at the Kraken.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he pulled at the Kraken in the kids class, and it was him and two other kids in it.
No.
It was a kid named Elijah, who's Jeff's son.
Yep.
And then it was James Fowler's kid that ended up coming first place. Evan got second place.
What?
Yeah, so that was his first tournament. But I can tell you, man, that from where he started and from where he's at now is night and day, right?
Really?
Don Mormon nicknamed my son the Hitman, right? Because everybody has been raving about his ready go hit. Like, he winds all the way up, he coils up like a snake, and he is super methodical and fast to the side. When we were at the Devin Larrett seminar, I mean, Devin and Nancy Locke were talking about, you know, his technique at 9 years old was, you know, but he loves it. I mean, he watches YouTube videos all day. He built himself a pronator workout with his karate belt and like 30 pounds on there. So he pronates that all day and does different stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's really into it. But yeah, he gets mad if we ever go to practice like somewhere outside of my house and he doesn't go. So like that's how much it means to him. Like there's been several times where my wife is like going to an adventure park or something like that, and no, he wants to arm wrestle, and I'm not even joking. So yeah, it's pretty cool, But he loves all these guys. They all know him. They all work with him. Yeah.
Future of the sport right there. Yeah, I've seen guys like on social media posting their videos that aren't pronating 30 pounds, like that are somewhere's around 20 years old. They're pronating, like I've seen them pronate like 10 pounds and nothing more. So that's pretty impressive, buddy. 30 pounds.
Hey, my 3-year-old, when we were out here working out the other day, she deadlifted, what was it, 30? It was 30 pounds as well. 35 pounds, yeah. So she's 3. I mean, I know it's not like an incredible weight, but he is really strong, like for what he's doing. So.
What are you feeding these kids, Josh?
Reese's peanut butter cups and steak.
I don't like Reese's peanut butter cups. I don't like peanut butter.
Yeah, no, he don't like peanut butter. No, I just they eat a lot of chicken for sure.
Right on. I went in on the secret. Send me that diet.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's like mainly if we would have started at their age, we'd feel the same, but their bones and stuff are so flexible and malleable that they can be put in these bad spots and feel great 5 minutes later while we're sitting there tucked over like, oh, what did I do? Yeah. And they're ready to go again. So, I mean, it just, it goes to show while you're growing, he can grow into a phenomenal, athlete just by molding his body and adapting to that growing up,
That's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to see what this sport looks like in, 10 plus years, because back in the day, I think it was a lot more, it was a lot more rare to see a young kid being brought up in the sport. It wasn't very common. But now, more and more people are getting their kids into it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where you're at pretty soon, Evan.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Hey, Bill Collins.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Tap on your phone or something. You there, Josh? All right, Josh, work on your connection a little bit. I'm going to hop back to the chat here. We got Benjimac. He says, yo, yo, yo. He says, will there be weigh-ins? That is a really good question. Casey, is there going to be some weigh-ins for this?
Yeah, so if the match are ranked people, we're weighing them in. If they're not ranked amateurs, we're not worried about it.
And this is going to be the day of the weigh-ins?
Yes.
And what time can we plan for that?
Probably 12.
12 o'clock? Okay.
Actually, we might even do it earlier. I'll talk to Josh about it. Earlier would be better, but we could do them as it starts.
Okay. Yeah. I would think if any of us can show up early, let's do it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people chomping at the bit to get their weigh-in done. The ones that are starving themselves to come down in weight. So we got Matt Hughes coming back in. What's up, Eric Gonzalez? How's it going?
About that, guys? A little bit of technical.
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
Hey.
So hopefully we'll see Josh popping back in here. I'm going to continue on with the chat here. We've got Tommy Delphin saying, hey guys, how are you doing? How are y'all doing? Good.
Great.
Good.
Good.
All right. Yes, we're here. We're looking forward to it. We got Paul Stevens in the chat says, what's up, guys? It's the man, the myth, the legend. But since I couldn't get Alan Fisher on here, it's just little old me. No, man, you're definitely a legend, Paul. We got Caleb saying Casey's potential excites me. We're talking about he's talking about what we were talking about earlier with him. He's just moving up really quick for how short of a time Casey's been in the sport. Absolutely. Olivia Sanchez says, definitely, I was there the day I'm guessing, says Casey, pulled Benny at our house before they really got into it. And I knew he was a beast back then even.
Yeah. I remember the day. I won't forget that day.
And Caleb says Kane is a vampire. I'm guessing that's because I'm 140 years old is what he's talking about. And we got Pablo Ochoa saying old man. All right, everybody. All right, cut it out. And Eric, you said, yo, send me the link. Okay, we got you in. Olivia Sanchez says, Dom pulling arms around America. Yeah, definitely. Dom's been getting around. Let me double check. Okay, here comes Josh on 2 different accounts. Interesting. We're going to put you in here twice, Josh.
Sorry about that, bro.
Oh, it's all
Charge your
good.
phone, man.
It's not the phone. My kids turned off my Wi-Fi.
Did you have to string some more foil from the antenna?
Yeah. No more talking for you.
All right, we got let's see. We've got Grace. Wait. Caleb Armbender says Brandon was my first goal. I think he's talking about Brandon Rain. Am I saying his last name right? Is it Rain?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. And he says, keep in mind, Brandon is 2-time national champ at 138 pounds. Dude had wars with Isaac Luna once upon a time. I believe it. Yeah, I only pulled Brandon one time in a tournament, and it was like my first couple months in, maybe 3 or 4 months in, Reno IFA qualifier. And I think I only got him because I fouled him out. I think he had an elbow foul or something like that. But I was like, what the hell? It was kind of like Chewy, you know? Like, dude, this guy is way too strong for his size.
Brandon is pound for pound the strongest guy I've ever seen. Like if I had his strength per my size, that would be awesome.
Yeah. We would all love that. We've also got Grace Bear in the chat. And I'm pretty sure, Grace Bear, I didn't know when you were popping in last night. Is this Lonnie? Yeah, who trains down with us? Lonnie, if so, Lonnie is an absolute beast, very talented. What's up, Lonnie? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's you. Anyone know weigh-in times, please? So yeah, we just talked about that. Josh, do you have anything to add about weigh-in times? Casey was saying maybe 12, maybe a little earlier.
I didn't hear anything that was said. So yeah, like the only people that need to weigh in are the people that have like rankings on the line. I mean, for the most part, because these are just call out matches, right? And it's not like a weight class that you're winning or something.
Yeah.
So most of these guys have just agreed to come in whatever weight they're at. The only, road that we'd find that, is when those rankings are on the line, when it's not super heavyweight, the guys are probably going to want to make sure that they're within weight or close to it. So yeah, I would think that if everybody can, start weighing in at 12 o'clock, that'd be awesome. If they could start right away, because everything will be set up early for sure. And obviously people showing up a little bit earlier than that would be ideal if they were trying to weigh in.
Right on.
Yeah, but we can see the cool part about this being super matches is that you don't have to stop the weigh-ins at 12:30 or 1 o'clock. I mean, we can continue to weigh other people off to the side that are having matches while matches are going on and their match is not even close to happening. So yeah, we'll get all those people weighed in and make sure that it's all taken care of for sure.
Right on. Well, I mean, all I have to say is Lincoln Hawk was not like worried about weight when he was pulling Bull Hurley. So yeah. I mean, just get out there and do it. So we've got the game of arm wrestling says, you guys are a great team. I see you, River smoking, Jeremy sleeping, Manjot working, and Benny looks like he can help me with my homework.
Who said that?
This is the game of arm wrestling. Y'all know
Okay.
who that is?
No.
Drop
don't
us,
know.
drop us a
My
name.
channel
Who
I
are you?
made.
Who are you?
It was my old little channel I made.
What is it? We've got
I
Paul
thought River's
Stevens says,
house on fire.
Paul says, Matt is a beast, known him for a long time and always been powerful and a great guy. I'm realizing that really quick myself here. Really great guy, seems like. And we've got Don Mormon, another legend in the chat. Hi, everyone, he says. And he says he's late. That's okay. You can come in whenever you want because you're Don Mormon. We've got Ed Bedrosian in the chat, throwing up a big bicep flex. And we've got, let's see. Yeah, Don Mormon, the one who christened the name for Evan. He says the Hitman. And Olivia Sanchez says, Evan blew my bicep off last time we were pulling. Excited to see him and where he goes in the sport.
He did. I think he made her bleed too. I think he drew blood, didn't he, Benny?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, my wife came home and she was like, that might be the last time I ever arm wrestle.
Oh, boy. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Grace is Lonnie. She says, hey, Kane, with a pair of slick Ray-Bans. And we've got Veronica Knight in the chat. Says, hey, Kane, how's it going, AW fan? Yeah, Veronica Knight is definitely a legend in my eyes. The whole Knight family. Has anybody pulled her son, Junior?
Is Junior still pulling?
Oh, yeah.
I was around when he first started.
Yeah.
Evan reminds me a lot of Junior when he started.
Really? Does he have a really good hit, Evan?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It was just like a natural, explosive, quick top pull. Same as Evan.
Jeez. Yeah, Junior was one of the guys that helped dish out my humble pie, my first practice with Alpha Empire.
Oh,
you know,
that was years ago when I seen him. How old is he now? He's got to be up 16, 17.
I think he's pushing 17 now. How old is he, Veronica? I think he was like 13 years old when I pulled him, and I'm like thinking, oh, you guys want me to pull this kid? And the dude's like, "Pah!" I'm like, holy crap! Whoa! And it hurt. It hurt a bit too. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, Veronica's saying hi to Grace. Good to have all y'all in here. Veronica says Junior is 17, still pulling, hitting the weights. His next tourney is going to be a doozy. Oh, she's leaving a little mystery behind that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Junior does out there too, and Evan as well. All right, so let's jump on over to Benny.
Hey, my wife is the game of arm wrestling. I just found that out, so that was her trolling.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Babe, Josh's wife is trolling us in the chat. You need to jump on board and get in there. So Benny, it's good to have you here with us. And we met, it was at the compound tournament after pulling, right?
Yep.
So then that would make this a little over a year for you now?
It's gonna be
almost.
Did the math? I'll make it almost 10 months.
Okay. Exciting times. Are you still going through the amateur aches and pains and such?
Oh no, bad for me at the beginning. I had about 30 minutes where I could arm wrestle, and then that was it. I was done. And then I can arm wrestle for a couple hours now, and I'll be just fine. A little sore. That's about it.
Wow, but you're feeling good for your competitor, right?
Yeah, I feel very.
All right. Are you psyched?
I'm psyched.
I don't know how you couldn't be to be pulling in this event.
Yeah.
It's gonna be absolutely epic. 100%
Oh.
epic. Are you gonna be hanging out with us for the weekend up there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. So what was day one for you? How did all this start for you?
You know, other than a couple schoolyard arm wrestles, that was about it. And then I hadn't really ever lost to anybody, you know, that nobody that knew what they were doing, of course. And then one day Casey was over there at my house, and he was friends through a friend, and he, I don't know how it came up or how, but we just said let's arm wrestle. I don't know how that happened. I don't remember now. Maybe Casey, but I was like, okay, well, this is just another big guy I'm going to try to beat, you know. And I remember as soon as the match started, he cocked his wrist in. Like, uh-oh, he knows how to arm wrestle. And that was the first time I had lost. And after that, he invited me one day. He said, "Let's go start arm wrestling." And I was like, "I'll go, man. I'm in." And I went arm wrestled a couple times with him, with a few people. I think we went to Merced once or something. We went a couple places, and then right after that, I had torn my bicep. Not arm wrestling, but I was at work and I tore the bicep, and then I took about a year hiatus while all these guys were continuing to practice. And then I got back into it, and I said, one day he just hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to arm wrestle again?" I said, let's do it. I love it. So I went back and I had to build my bicep back up, and it's almost as strong as it was before. Maybe not for arm wrestling. It was strong for arm wrestling. Now there's no discomfort. Great. So
Right on, man. Yeah, there's this weird thing with arm wrestling. If anybody's experienced sports injuries of any type, I feel like through arm wrestling training, you learn how to deal with them a lot better, how to recover them.
Yeah.
At least I didn't know with like tendon and muscle injuries that are a little more severe, how actually getting blood to them and doing those lightweight movements and everything heals it up so much quicker. Yeah, I've just known a lot of people that'll get tendonitis. I've had drummers in my bands or whatever that would get tendonitis, and they had to quit the band because they're like, I can't move my arm, so I'm not going to. Like, they're like, oh, I've got tendonitis, I'm gonna do nothing. Basically, I'm gonna quit my job and go into another job that like hurts less. And 5 years later, they're like, my arms still hurt, you know. But in arm wrestling, we basically intentionally give ourselves tendonitis. Like it's pretty much what we're doing. And the interesting thing is that's why everybody gets so strong in this sport, you know, just get these massive scarred tendons and everything that we put through that process, breaking down and filling up.
Yeah,
Has it helped your bicep, this process?
Oh yeah. I didn't know if it would ever get as strong as it was before, but it's completely healed. I can trust that thing.
Yeah.
It's much better. And I've never had a tendon injury. I've never had any weird aches or pains in a tendon area or something. I don't know if that's genetic or just from working my whole life. I'm not sure, but yeah, the tendons feel great. It's the muscles that always used to bug me. So, but they're catching up now. So
nice. Good to hear. Can you tell us a little bit about your competitor?
Yeah, it's you know what? I have the double-edged sword because I don't know much about him, but that also means he doesn't know much about me, I would assume. His name is Soberanes.
Say that again. You're breaking up a little bit there.
Oh, okay. He's Daniel Soberanes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know much about him, but all I know is I think he's still in Petaluma, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he still lives there, but yeah. So
yeah, those are cool matches where you have no idea, and you know it could favor one person one round, it could favor the other person the next round, but yeah, those are great when there's little information.
Yeah, I think I got some tricks up my sleeve that might surprise them. So we'll see how that goes. I've been training way harder than I ever had before, you know. So I'm feeling like I'm gonna come up soon. Hopefully, I got to catch up to Casey and Josh. You know.
Wait, you guys train? Oh,
occasionally.
I'll have to get on that.
Yeah. Has anybody else trained both with Benny and his competitor?
No.
Tell me his name one more time. It takes like 2 times for me usually, Benny.
No problem. Daniel Soberanes.
Daniel Soberano. So none of you guys have pulled with Daniel either?
No,
Oh, okay. This is
no, it's a pretty open match. Like I said, I guess he's the great grandson of the Soberanes who helped start wrist wrestling.
right.
Back in the day. He's supposed to be 6 or 7 months in. So yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be fresh into the sport. I don't know how that's possible when you're born into a family like that, but hey, we'll see. So no, we don't really know much of him. I've asked around, nobody's seen him pull at any tournaments or anything like that. So I mean, he probably is fresh in, like Benny. It should work out really well. And like I said, Benny's hand is not it's not a 6-month hand, not for his weight class. So
Appreciate that.
should be all right.
Very cool.
Benny's got an insane grip strength. I've got one
really?
of the hand dynamometers, and I got a pretty strong hand, and Benny absolutely crushed it. I was like, yeah, this is what I usually get. And he's like, oh, that's cute. And like maxed it out. I was like, oh, thanks, dude. Right on.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I never really. I had the little gripper, and I would do those for fun every once in a while, but I didn't know. I didn't really know the squeezing strength I had that really until somebody had come up to me with one of the called Captain Crush grippers, and I was able to close the level 3 one in like so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very impressive, man. Have you found a use for that in arm wrestling?
That took me a long time. I've gotten to a lot of debates with Josh and Casey and the boys down there, and I wasn't able to utilize that. I think the strength was all about keeping the hand closed as much as possible, and it's a different motion than doing something like bending your wrist in.
Yep.
And I've literally probably a month ago, I figured out a way to use my hand a different way, and I've been feeling significantly stronger on the table. So
good. Well, I won't ask you to disclose that just in case Daniel is watching. But
Daniel's hiding. I don't know where that guy's at, man.
Yeah. We're all gonna find out at the same time, what this guy's all about. But I'm rooting for you. Yeah, it is counterintuitive a lot of times, those grippers, because they do want to cock your wrist back to really, get it right. I use them sometimes, but I guess the big controversy is a lot of people preaching the sport that you don't want to hold on. However, having a really good, strong hand and fingers, it definitely seems to matter. I haven't been around that long of a time, but I do know that if I'm just trying to grip the crap out of someone's hand, I mean, it works for some people, I guess. Yeah. But finding those little nuances to more, contain when you need to adjust, and the more you're gripping, the slower you are too. But
yeah, there was a way I learned a little bit more defensively, I think, is what it helps me out more with, is somebody tries to pull the hand open. I found a way to set the elbow and to get my hand in a certain position to where it's much, much harder, and I have access to more strength in that specific area. So it's helped a lot. Yeah.
Cool. Right on, man. Well, I'm wishing you luck at your match. And it's going to be a fun party to figure out what the hell is going on with this and see where this match goes.
Yeah. We can do after pulls, now that I have a whole 10 months of experience instead of a week.
you us?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yes, definitely.
You can show me the next step I got to take.
Oh, I don't know about that, but we'll see. So Mr. Felix Brain, and am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So you've got some really good mood lighting there. Let's get some good talk going, bro.
That's for my fish tank in my room. So
what kind of fish do you have?
It's just it's saltwater fish, so I got a few clownfish, a few anemones and stuff.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Right on. So yeah, how long have you been pulling for?
I've been pulling a couple practices, so maybe like 4 months, 4 or 5 months probably. So not that long, but I've before that I basically gone to practices where like my first practice was with Devin Lard actually at the seminar. So that was my first time like on the table. So
man, what was that like for you?
Well, before then, I didn't really know much about arm wrestling, and I basically just was weightlifting maybe like a year or two before that. And I don't know, just felt it ended up feeling kind of pointless. And so I remember stumbling across some like schoolboy Devin Lard videos, right? Yeah. And I was like so hooked on the sport because I've never been really hooked on a specific sport like basketball or soccer. It's always been kind of boring to me. No offense to any basketball or soccer fans, but arm wrestling just always has like a certain like, I don't know, it's kind of alluring, you know? And you watch these two people, just these two guys duke it out on the table. And it's just always been so like, just so intense, right? Like just seeing like the crowd around them, just so like, you want to be there, you want to be in the spotlight. And so that's kind of entranced me to go into arm wrestling. And so I decided, well, you know, I started arm wrestling with my friends, but obviously, you know, I just killed all of them basically. And so I was like, well, I gotta go to something else. I gotta actually get in the competitive sphere of arm wrestling and not just, you know, arm wrestle with my friends who don't really know much about it. Right. So, first practice was technically at the seminar with Devin. So my first time was actually on a real table was with Devin. And it was crazy. It was a great time. It was a great seminar, a great introduction into arm wrestling. And ever since then, you know, I met Casey at the seminar. I met Josh at the seminar, and we just kind of kicked off from there. Basically I got invited to one of their practices, and my fish tank turned off. Got invited to one of their practices, and then basically I've been just showing up every time practically. You know, it's been like 4 to 5, 6 practices. Been going to Mike McGraw's as well, and I think I've progressed a lot. I think that I'm a little ahead of the pack when it comes to like technique for my experience level. I feel like I have both like top roll, especially top roll, but also hook down to a good level. And it's all thanks to Nowhere to Run, all thanks to Josh, all thanks to everyone that shows up to Mike McGraw's, the arm benders. It's been great. You know, they've all been teaching me how to, you know, perfect my pulling style. So it's been great. Yeah.
So Nowhere to Run is the team that you primarily train with?
Nowhere to Run. I've all just because I live in Fresno as well, so it's really easy for me to just drive over to, you know, just practice, and it's only 30 minutes away. So, but I've also gone to Turlock as well, because you know you always need like a different sphere, you know, people to pull with, you know, to kind of, you know, get more perspective on how to improve. But mostly Nowhere to Run, of course. So yeah.
Well, so far, what I'm finding the most interesting is out of all the chats we've done leading up to this, I know we haven't interviewed and talked to everybody that's got a match in this, but so far from the ones we have talked to, it seems like you have the least amount of experience. You're only 4 months in.
Yeah.
And I think that's freaking cool. I also think what's really cool is the fact that you're going for it. You know,
sure,
that you're taking a match on a stage and with a certified ref and just going for it. Best of 5. Good for you, brother. That's really cool.
I appreciate it. I mean, the person I'm going against, Pedro, he has more experience than me. I think he's heavier than me, and I accept that, you know. And I'm not going in to lose. I'm not planning to lose. I'm planning to win. You never go into a match thinking that you're going to lose, you know. Yeah. Never going to do that. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to put up as much of a fight as I can. And, you know, even if I do lose, I don't really have much to, you know, I don't really have much, you know, on the table right now. And so if I lose, I'll come back and I'll rematch him. See how far I've come. You know, I have so much like time to realize my potential. So, you know, it'd be kind of cool to see, like, even if I did lose, that's fine with me, because I know that later I'm going to come back and I'm going to win. So I think, I just want to see what I can do right now against someone who's, more experienced than me, and see if I can put up a good fight and even win, plan to win. So we'll see how that goes.
Great attitude. Great attitude. Yeah. So who, out of these guys who train with Felix, what can, from your perspectives, what can you tell me about Felix? What can you tell everybody about Felix?
Well, I can say personally, Felix is probably one of the fastest learners I've ever pulled with, which is why I feel like we're comfortable with him having a match so soon, is because he's learned so much in such little time, and he pays attention to everything, and he's getting taught by the people that teach me, Josh, and all the guys at the arm benders, and it's we more or less speak what the guys that are better than us are teaching us, and he absorbs it better than most, which is why he's so good with such little time he's been in it.
How about his safety and angles on the table? You feel confident about that?
He's great. Yeah, his side pressure is really good for 4 months in, and side pressure is crazy, which is a lane most guys don't go because it hurts, but for some reason he can do it.
To add on to that, like what I see from Felix that I noticed the most is that he doesn't separate, right? How you see a lot of new guys that are on the table and they drag their body way away from themselves and stuff. Felix has a very good mental hold on the fact that he needs to keep everything here. And so if he's in a losing spot, everything is staying in one piece. And his excitement every time he shows up, that's the number one thing that I see about him, is his enthusiasm. I mean, he is so enthusiastic and excited to learn more and to pull again. Those are the type of people we need. Right from the beginning, his attitude and aura was contagious. And I was like, dude, this guy's got to be part of the group. And then when I asked him if he wanted to be part of the group, the excitement there, like how, thrilled he was to be offered that, just showed it was like, it's the right guy. So, I mean, he's great attitude, spirit, and yeah, those are the type of people that, become champions because he's excited. He loves it. And he knows that the winning and losing are just learning parts,
Wow.
Yeah. Felix is definitely a great student. And then every time I pull him, he improves. Like every time it's just a vast improvement from next week to the next. So it's really cool watching him grow.
God, you guys have nothing but good things to say about Mr. Felix.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
But he's our teammate. We're on a podcast. Just wait till the cameras are off.
When does the hazing start? So yeah, I mean, this is the toughest thing for me is going to be, I want table time with every single one of these guys that we've talked to. Everybody's very interesting. I have a feeling there's no way we're going to have enough tables to facilitate everyone's need to after pull. I have a feeling we're going to be stealing all the bar tables, the two tops.
The cool part about this place is they have these two freedom style, long bench tables that are about, I want to say 18 feet long. So, I mean, yeah, there's plenty of space for that. But alone, we're bringing 6 tables just from our group.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Well, this table right here behind me, that's the giveaway table. So hopefully somebody brings that to the after party. And then I have two other tables that I possibly will bring. I don't know. We got to figure that out. But yeah,
that is good.
There's
looking.
a South team bringing tables as well, I believe.
The what?
What was that, Casey?
There's some South teams bringing tables as well.
Which guys are bringing? Just so I know if I need to ask anybody.
Oddsy said they're bringing 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, what it looks like right now is we have about 10 plus tables that will be there set up.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right on, man.
Because we don't want lines of 30 people and then they don't get to pool and have fun. And everybody listening and watching this, if you do have a table and you're bringing a truck or a car where it fits and you don't mind, it will definitely help. There's enough room for 50 tables there, so You know,
Yeah.
just got them.
Leo, Derek, Lorenzo, Isaac. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
even have a table. I'm just spoiled because we have so many teams around here. That's just where I get my table time.
You don't have a
If-
table?
I don't. I
You-
don't.
You know, that's weird is that's like a common factor that I noticed that a lot of like pretty elite level like pullers don't even have tables. Like they just frequently go to practice and, you know, arm wrestle that way. But
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have one, I guess, if practices were a little less easy to come by. But yeah, the
What kind of
alpha guys are.
What kind of vehicle are you bringing to the event?
Oh, we're just gonna bring our sedan, a little Lexus. It's gonna be pretty packed with stuff. And usually, whenever I travel anywhere, I like to bring a shitload of tools because they've come in handy a lot of times with breakdowns or whatever. But yeah, just a car.
aren't you a carpenter, Kane?
Yeah.
I would think you'd have a table made out of like mahogany or something by now.
My wife makes fun. I mean, I kind of do. I have put together a little something to mess around with. I just didn't really do any finish work or anything on it because one, I don't really have anybody. It's surprising up here in the mountains. You'd think I'd have a bunch of like tough dudes that wanted to train with me, but there are tough dudes, but they just don't want to arm wrestle for some reason. I brought a couple down to practices before and they showed up strong, but they just never came back. But yeah, Malia makes fun of me because anytime we need a home repair at home or something, she's like, I'm going to call one of your workers, like, because but you'll meet a lot of contractors and builders and carpenters. It's exactly like that. They'll do great work for other people. And then you go to their house and it's just like just a work zone of just like backstock shit everywhere. And like they need new siding and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, you work on everybody else's stuff but yours. That's
you want to come home and do all that.
Be wrenching or hammering.
Right. I do what I can though. But anyways, so yeah, let's jump down to River Welch.
How's it going,
man?
It's going all right. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've seen
Sorry,
you
my
around.
my camera's cracked. That's why it looks like it's all smoky in here.
Oh, sure. It's the camera's cracked. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen you around on social media. I don't think we've ever met at an event or anything, have we, River?
No, I'm still pretty new. I mean, I started kind of like just watching. I was into rock climbing for a while.
Oh, okay.
And I started watching rock climbing videos on YouTube, and it just led to like arm wrestling videos. So then basically, I downloaded ArmBet, met Josh, and like that. This was like a year ago.
Okay.
And then I only practiced with him probably like once or twice, maybe 3 times in his backyard at his old place. I met Casey, and then he kind of got me into it and said maybe I should come with him down to a tournament at what was it, Josh?
Patterson,
yeah, Patterson. So I did that, amateurs, just to try it out, Kind of.
How'd you do?
I mean, I lost every time, but it was definitely a fun experience. You know what I mean? So
right on.
And then after that, I was just started work for a while, and then I ended up breaking my index finger on my right hand at work.
What do you do for work?
I work at a winery.
Oh, okay. How did that happen?
It's kind of like outdoor winery, and I have like a tool, and the fucking door of the big old wine tank, it was leaking.
Yeah.
So I had to try to tighten it. So I was like hitting it with my tool, trying to tighten it, and it's twisted and broke my finger.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's not the hand that you're having a match with it.
No,
is it? Okay. All right. So what reflecting, well, first off, how long ago was that Patterson amateur tournament that you competed in?
It's probably like a year ago, around like June or July or something like that, or maybe even March, maybe.
And you've been training pretty consistently since then?
No, like I said, I broke my finger, and then I kind of didn't arm wrestle like probably after that Patterson event, I haven't arm wrestled since this year. And then I started again probably like late January, early February. And I hit up Josh again, trying to get into it. I was just waiting for my finger to heal. And like, I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm getting into it. It's pretty cool. I've been to a couple practices, met everybody on the team, you know, that Josh has added to the team. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm starting to get into it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, just keep coming, man. Stay consistent. You know, and just get the grind as much as you can. Find the stronger guys in your team and get them to hold you. You know, that's how you get stronger. Don't find the weaker guys on the team. Find the stronger ones, and unless you're trying to give them a workout, is what I mean. But so
Hey, you know what's crazy? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
but this is like the only time it'll happen. But on this team, Casey and I have the most experience. Isn't that wild? And we're
I love it. You guys kind of remind me of Compound because they were kind of the same too, but they're a great team. Really great team. Right. And I think it's that organic grassrootsness of it. You know, you're all starting from the ground up, and just in the same sense that you're making the ingredient that's helping to make this event so great is the fact that you are throwing those new people in that got the bug, you know, like Felix and River.
That's the biggest part of this, man, because look at if we did, and this is I want to be clear when I say this, it's not no dig at anyone else or anybody else doing anything, but if we were to do something similar and only focus on high level matches, this event would be nowhere near what it is. The reason that the event is so big is because everybody's involved, and like you know, you and I were talking, the amateur is going to be that one, or the new guy is going to be that one that shows everybody this interview that they're on right now, or the team that they're a part of, or the Armtube video that just got released with their match. They're going to show everybody that they know, as opposed to, you know, you got these higher level guys who have been there, done that, and you know, it's an everyday thing to them. So. Right. You know, the amateurs are what make this tournament, or not even tournament, event so unique and so special for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, well said. And it's and yeah, so I definitely think that dynamic contributes to a brand new team as well, you know, because there isn't members on the team that are jaded. There's not members on the team that might be seeing things completely different than the new guys. You guys are all, you know, gung-ho driven. And I think that's why you see trailblazing occur with newer teams like that. So that's great. River, who's your match with? How did you decide to take a match this early on? It sounds like you're not getting to a lot of practices. You're just kind of getting the groove of this. Yeah, how did this match come about, and who was it with?
I believe it's with some guy named Christian Lee. I have no idea.
Where's he out of?
I don't know. Josh kind of set it up. So
somewhere from the south down there.
Christian what?
Lee. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, that's what he goes by on Facebook and everything. Some of the guys that, you know, I don't know their actual last name if they, you know, have a certain handle.
What team is he on?
I want to say that he said West Side something.
Oh, he's the West Side Arm Wrestlers. Yeah, LA team.
Right.
Yeah, but he was one that was close to, you know, as close to Rivers' experience as I could find. You know, 6, 7, 8 months, less than a year, basically, is what it is. And yeah, and so the kid Christian has been to one tournament as well, I believe, from what he said. And so, yeah, again, it's two newer guys that just like us that are excited about it. And they're both going to go in there gung ho and see what happens. Yeah. So River's one of those unique things as well. I mean, he's how much you weigh, River? 140 pounds?
145, 150.
Right. So he's that size, but, you know, his rock climbing experience and the things that he did, he has incredible, you know, hand and finger strength as well. So, yeah, just going to go out there and see what happens. And that's what motivates us to keep on doing it, you know.
Right on. I've never met a weak-handed rock climber, so it'll be nice to grip up with you, get to know you. And I honestly, like, I can barely see what you look like because of all that cracked phone. Yeah. So anyways, at the event, just come grab me, dude. If I don't recognize you first, and yeah, it'd be good to grip up with you and get a little table time, after the event. You gonna be hanging out for the weekend?
Yeah, definitely.
Right on, man. Yeah, definitely. And all you guys, I would definitely enjoy linking up with each of you, getting a little table time. Despite doing these live streams and stuff, sometimes I can just like get a little tunnel vision. Just grab me. Let's do it. I'd like to get to know you guys more, your team, everything. So Manjot, are you in a supplement store or are those cigarettes?
Oh no, I was at a 7-Eleven, so I work pretty much every day, and I just do management at 7-Eleven, and then yeah, so that's what I do basically.
So you're working right now?
Hustling.
Yeah, I was at work, but I was just helping out a little bit today, so I was kind of free today.
Boss, it don't matter. Don't let him fool you. He owns the store.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I as a career, I'm gonna franchise. I'm gonna be a franchisee.
Oh, yeah, very cool. Right on. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So what got me into arm wrestling was I've been watching a lot of videos. So first I used to work out, used to do a lot of powerlifting, and then slowly got into kickboxing. Then I started watching arm wrestling, like Devin Lear's videos. Then I got more into arm wrestling, started watching more videos, started getting more interested, and then later on I downloaded the Armbet app and I got in touch with Josh. At first I couldn't recognize who Josh was, so Josh told me that he used to come at my 7-Eleven. So that's how I knew Josh. And then I got really interested. I want to learn more about arm wrestling, how arm wrestling actually works, and what's the difference between powerlifting and arm wrestling. So really want to learn more, get more experience, and definitely looking forward to seeing how far I can get.
So wait, Josh came into the store, and that's how you guys met. And
well, I met him through Armbet first.
Armbet, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so and then I got in touch with him, and then he told me that he knows my mom and dad. So I was like, I probably didn't remember him when he used to come. But there was also a lot of customers. So then I got to know Josh. Yeah,
I knew Manjot's mother and father for 10 years before I met him. My daughter went to the elementary school across the street from their store for 6 years. And so you go into the store every morning, you get your daughter a chocolate milk and a muffin or whatever she wants. And that's where that relationship was built. It got to a point where I couldn't pay for anything in their store. They would give my daughter whatever she wanted. No, it's
yeah, my mom was just really nice to the
family.
So how long have you been pulling now, Manjot?
Almost, I believe, it's almost been 8 months. So I've been practicing with Josh most of the time. So every other week I go to his house, practice with him, and he helps me out. So I practice with him and Dominic. So yeah, so they help me a lot. Yeah.
Very cool. Can you tell me? Yeah, go ahead.
And also, it's like my first time I never actually competed, so I want to see how it goes.
Yeah. Right on.
Right.
How about your match coming up?
So my match, so this week just been relaxing, been trying to eat more and gaining weight. And last week it's where I went hard, where I really want to gain more strength. Try to put more work, like try to be, because cupping is the key. So if you have really good cupping, and it just has to do most of the time how you can do the static hold. And it's just so I've been just prepping myself by pulling more. Also just been lifting weights, where I've been doing arm wrestling training with weights by working on more pronation and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
You getting out to practices pretty often?
Yeah, because the more practice I get, the more used to I'll get on how the techniques actually work, how the basic fundamentals work, and how I can get those basic fundamentals incorporated into what I'm really strong at. I'm strong at chop rolling or hooking.
That's where it's at, man, is on the table for sure.
Right.
How about your match? Who's your match with?
Charlie. I pulled it, Charlie. I forgot his last name, but I pulled it with him before at Josh's house. He came to practice, I think, one time, like really long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the long beard guy. That's from Visalia. So I pulled with him like a really long time ago. He's more of a hooker, so I was thinking about maybe I can do a better chop roll. I can probably get him.
Ooh, hook versus top roll match. Everybody loves
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So,
all right. Yeah, that sounds very cool, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're joining us while you're at work and everything like that. Yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I look forward to meeting you there at the event. Let's definitely get some after pulling, and yeah, I'll be looking for your match for sure. Is it going to be left or right or both?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think most of the matches are right-handed, so
yeah.
I think I might have a right hand with Charlie. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very cool. So we've got a couple more guys here. If you don't mind, I'm just going to catch up a little bit on the chat. Let's see. Yeah, Charlie Enos, I want to say, says Matt Hughes is strong like a bull. And we've got Veronica Knight says, hey Kane, how is it? Oh wait, no, I've read this. I'm sorry. Let's see. Junior 17. Junior is a badass, says Benjimac. Paul Stevens says hi Veronica. They're talking to each other a little bit. We got JKX500, who I think is Jaden Knight, Jaden Senior. Yeah, she is Paul. They're talking to each other. Paul Stevens. Let's see. Everyone's talking to each other. Anybody have anything to say to you all?
We need a moderator to keep.
Yeah, we'll get there. Let's see. Jeffrey Ray is in the chat. What's up, Jeffrey? Let's see. He says you got to find a logger to pull with up in the mountains. Crazy strong hands. Everybody's a logger up here. at least the full timers. Yeah, we all find ways to get our wood and stay warm. Chop in that wood. Olivia Sanchez says, okay, yeah, they're pretty much chatting with each other. All right, so let's move forward with Mr. Lawrence Osborne, and then we'll get at you. Where did you go? Oh, Jeremy. Okay, so Lawrence, how's it going, brother?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Right on. Thanks for sticking it out with us. I know this is a super long call, but you know,
it's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Good. We're doing the deep dive with all of y'all.
Yeah.
And
sure.
So you train also with Nowhere to Run?
Yep, that's right.
And how long have you been in this sport for so far?
So I want to say next month will actually be a year that I've been doing it still.
Next year will be the say it again?
Next month or two actually be almost a year.
Will be your first year. Okay, gotcha. And how did that day one come about? Was it Armbet as well?
No, actually. So, well, originally how I started off, I was a kid growing up, and I was actually into that show Game of Arms, actually.
Yeah.
So, growing up into it, I used to watch all the time and go to school, and all my buddies, they knew that I watched all the time, so they wanted to like try to challenge me. Realized I was actually pretty good at it. From there, started more of the football players. They all want to do it as well. Was actually still pretty good at it, to where I actually still pinned every one of them. Came up to a little bit of some teachers too as well. Still realized I was good at it. But after all that stuff during school, I kind of got away from it, went strictly into work, and was just more busy with that. And a year ago was when I seen an actual post on Facebook of the whole Patterson. Actually, that's when I first started getting into it. So never trained, never did nothing. Went over there to pull and realized I was actually still good at it. And the first person actually who pinned me out there was actually Casey.
Man, Casey, check his name, dude.
I've been hearing that a few times in a lot of these interviews.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Casey, he was actually my first loss. I'm like, okay, so at least I'm still actually able to compete with him. I'm actually still able to give him a little bit of a fight. So just from Patterson, I just kept going, and my one after that was over at Riverside. Tried that before. And then never really got into the team yet until after the whole Turlock event that Josh set up over there. And started to get to know Eric, started to get to know Josh more, Casey. And they're telling me yeah, you should try to come out here one day to go to practice. We're actually from Fresno. And after that, I've just been with them since.
Right on, man. Now, going back to Game of Arms, so that was kind of what inspired you to come in. Just a little curious, who was the puller that had you hooked? Who was your favorite puller on Game of Arms that you were inspired by?
It was actually honestly Kenny Hughes.
Kenny Hughes?
Yeah. Yeah. He was actually the one that got me into it. I was actually hooked on it from him. I'm like, oh, cool. I mean, this guy, he doesn't look very big, but at the same time, he's strong, he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was actually one of my favorites.
Very cool. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, he's definitely one of them that I enjoyed the most as well. But I loved the whole format of that show. It really was cool.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about your match that you got coming up here.
For sure.
Who's your match with?
It is with Josh Villaria. It was switched out last minute, but originally he was going to be the first one I was actually going to pull. Still works out regardless, no matter what. I've never really seen him pull, so I don't really know how he goes, if he's a hook, if he's a top roll. But my just main focus is my arm feels good, my wrist feels good, my hand feels good, and I'm actually ready for it, no matter which way we go.
Josh, is this Josh my teammate?
He's Rick, who was on your show yesterday. He's amazing brother. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you're breaking up on me a little bit, but so he was on with us yesterday. Yeah, his last name sounded a little bit like my teammate's last name, but
better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Somebody's got the wind right in their mic, huh?
Yeah, somebody's picking up something. Let me run a test and see who it is. Let's see. Not you. Oh, you're gonna have to unmute because I just tested you. Yeah. Not River. Go ahead and unmute yourself, River. I don't know. It's somebody. Is it windy for anybody in there?
Nope, not over here.
All right, we'll deal with it. So you know nothing about this guy then, huh?
Not too much. I want to say I've probably been around the same area as him. He probably pulled around where I was at, but I've never really paid attention too much about it.
Okay. All right. Well, that will be an interesting one. What's your height and weight right now?
I am 6'2", and I'm at a good 340 right now.
Good God. Wow, you're a very large man.
Yeah.
And so teammates, tell me a little about Lawrence. Is he a pretty bad dude or what?
Oh yeah, he's super powerful. Feels like gripping myself every time we pull, and he's crazy strong, and he never makes it easy. And every time I have to pull him in a tournament, I sigh because I know I'm at height.
Oh boy.
A little bit longer before Larry cracks the wrist and keeps it cracked.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna need a lot of coffee after this event. I want to pull with all of you guys. You sound like interesting dudes to pull with. All right, so we've also got Jeremy Dooley down here. How's it going, Jeremy?
Good, and you?
Very, very good. So are you also a Nowhere to Run teammate?
Yeah, Josh is my uncle.
Yeah?
Yeah, my uncle.
Oh boy. Oh, wait. So Jeremy is Jeremy's the one who's having a match, Josh, with who was it we spoke to yesterday?
Cody.
Oh boy. All right, interesting.
Look, no BS aside, I know I just made a joke about Casey, but I've had like 3 people tell me in the last month that if my nephew keeps on the path he's on, that he'll be too much for Casey in a year. I think that's saying a lot, but my nephew is incredibly strong. I mean, a lot of these grown men on this call will tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's
17 years old, yeah. He's been playing rugby and football since he's 5 years old. So.
All right, you broke up. Did you say rugby and football since 5 years old? Wow. And how long have you been training for, Jeremy?
I'm not sure exactly. My first match was against Jalen Pulowski. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I got smacked 3-0. He whooped me. But I'm not sure exactly how long. I've been off and on. Like, I just do it whenever I'm at my uncle's. Like, we'll go to the garage and we'll pull, and he'll just teach me some different techniques and stuff. And yeah, my strength helps me most because I have not a lot of technique.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. You strong fellas need to get like unstrong or something to really figure out some of those mechanics and everything, because and when you can put those two things together, I feel like you guys that are really strong are just unstoppable. We've been talking a lot about that, but yeah, just I think the hardest thing when you're coming in strong is to I would think to just wanting to still feel strong in a match. I feel like for the strong guys that are able to compensate with that strength, the willingness to bring things down a notch, and with somebody and just work on those slow static pulls. What do they staying between 10 and 2 a lot, and really be willing to work those angles. So how have you pulled with Cody at all?
Yeah, I pulled with him lots of times. He was at the little like when I pulled Jalen Pulowski. What was that? When was that, Uncle? What?
It was November in Turk Rock. It was the Supermatch event that we did at Mike McGraw's.
Yeah, he was there, and we pulled a little bit. And then when the first ever practice I went to in Pismo with my uncle and my auntie, he was there, and I pulled against him there. That's the first time I ever pulled against him. So I pulled with him a few times.
Okay, and how confident are you feeling about this match?
He has a lot more technique than me, but I have 150 pounds on him. I have like 100 pounds on him. Like,
oh, I love this. All right.
So I don't know.
The third biggest guy on this call.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that?
He's 5'11", 240.
5'11", 240.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're only 17 years old?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Some more future of the sport right here. All right. Well, that's going to be an interesting match. That's definitely a David and Goliath situation. But yeah, it sounds like he's got the experience and technique. Are you going to power through that or not? I don't know. We'll have to find out. Is it going to be right hand?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, okay, guys. Is there anything else that you want to cover, Josh, Casey, Eric? Well, Eric, we didn't really, when we talked before, we didn't really get into your backstory. Maybe we can cover that a little bit right now if you're willing.
Yeah. I don't really have a backstory. I'm just fucking.
Oh, every good character has a backstory. Come on.
No, so one day I was going to grab a beer at Manjot's store, and there was a guy handing out pamphlets, and it just so happened to be Josh, and he was preaching the arm wrestling gospel, and he handed me a pamphlet.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
That's Josh.
Was he wearing a sign on his chest that said the world was going to end if you didn't arm wrestle or something like that?
Exactly. He had the hat.
I love it.
Arm wrestling witnesses. Yeah, that's what we're called.
You see Josh going door to door trying to find arm wrestlers.
Yeah.
He's a great talent scout. No, so, all jokes aside. No,
yeah.
So yeah, just YouTube. Just started going down that rabbit hole in YouTube and watching all the Devin Lara and Juju Mufu stuff like everybody else, and then had no table time at all, like whatsoever. And I looked online. Took me a while to find something, but like once you're in, you kind of like know, you know. But I found the Locked and Loaded event in August and went because I told myself, you know, if I'm gonna like it, you know, I might as well just jump right into it. And so I entered the 209 right and left hand amateur event, and then that's how I met Benny, because he smoked me like right-handed. It was my first match, and then I just, you know, met Benny, started talking to all them, met Casey, met Josh, and then we figured out that we lived right by each other. So after that, I've been linking up with them ever since, and we've been traveling around all over the place, different practices, arm wrestling everybody we can, and I'm hooked, man.
The Arm Wrestling Gospel. I think we're changing our team name.
I like it. I like it.
So
definitely like it.
I told you Eric was a gem. I told you.
Yeah. I'm full of it, dude. I'm full of it. So yeah, it's been about 6 months for me. So it's hard, man. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Like I've done a bunch. I'm like a physical person, so I've done all kinds of different things. But there's something about arm wrestling that's like super difficult for me, but it makes me keep coming back to strive to be better. So like I don't know. I want to be the best in my weight class, so I'm just gonna keep going at it until I can't. So
yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's definitely something about this sport for sure. Yeah. Josh, you should definitely write a book or something for your team. Like you could write it, and it could be like the gospel of arm wrestling, or I don't know, just like something like that. But no, then there would be the books within it. It would be like the gospel of Eric, the gospel of Felix, and each one of you can write your own little bit on arm wrestling.
Liquor stores to Crusader Brewing.
What's that, Benny?
From liquor stores to Crusader Brewing.
So Eric, Josh and I were talking earlier, and it sounded like you helped connect this link with Crusader Brewing.
Yeah, that was just by chance. They were the first person I called, and I started talking to the guy Bailey, that is one of the owners of the brewery, and we just started talking arm wrestling. I was like, hey, we're looking to find this venue. Would you be interested in hosting it? And at first he was like, well, I don't really know anything about arm wrestling. So I started explaining it to him, what we were trying to do, how we wanted to create this big event for everybody to go to, and it was like 100% free and all this. And then so he was like on board right after that. And then we actually got him into arm wrestling too. So now he's like starting to watch arm wrestling videos and all this stuff. So it's kind of cool that, and I think he's kind of caught the bug now. And,
yeah. We're gonna spread the gospel at Crusaders. We are gonna spread it. Yeah, there's a lot of people, it sounds like, that are interested in this. They're the regular brewery goers. What's that?
Maybe that's the name for our podcast, the Arm Wrestling Gospel.
Ooh. There you go. There it is. That's copyrighted, guys. Don't take that name.
Yeah. Eric, tell us a little bit about your match, brother.
What's that?
Tell us a little bit about your match.
Oh, so I'm going against Isai. I faced him in, I believe, December, early December. We were at the Arm Fest. Didn't know anything really about him at the time, but like I was eager just to take a match, just to kind of like, get my feet wet, kind of get those like pre-match jitters, out of the way. He beat me pretty good. So it was like an eye opener, like I knew what I needed to work on. But I'm excited to face him again. I've made him a lot of improvements since then, I think. I'm not gonna give away like what style arm wrestler I am yet. So because I don't even really know. I'm just still trying to go through it, I don't know if I'm a hook puller, top roller, but I do have a good press. I know that, so I can rely on that if I need be, so.
I remember when I met you, you're a pretty tall dude, but when you were gripping up with Isai, do you feel like you have somewhat of a comparable arm length with him, or do you feel?
Oh yeah. I think he has a little bit bigger hand than me, like his fingers are a little bit longer, but yeah,
right.
For the most part, we're like pretty well matched. He has a little bit more experience under his belt, but I think that's why Josh set it up because we are, like physically the same, So
perfect.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting match for sure. Isai is my boy, and he's been making a lot of progress. I feel like he's been with us for about 2 years now. Yeah, I think about that. Man, he came in just skinny, and he's definitely stacked it on. But
Isai's made a lot of improvements, man.
Yes.
I've pulled him 3 times in tournaments, and yeah, he's improved every time.
Absolutely. Well, I will definitely be looking forward to you guys' match. It's going to be a good time. And can you, does your phone move? Or are we able to take a look at that?
That table? Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, let's get a glimpse of that bad boy.
All right.
You made this, right?
Yeah, I made it. I made a couple. I made one before this. Just kind of like just real quick, with scrap material I had at my work because I weld. I do all kinds of stuff, but
oh, cool.
See if I can flip this thing around real quick. Oops. There we go. Okay, so here it is. Yeah, this is the second one I built, and I made a lot of improvements off the first one. But yeah, coming along pretty good.
Oh man, that is good looking table.
BMX grips, pads came pretty good. Frame's pretty sturdy. Something like that.
Perfect. Yeah, that is sleek looking. So it is a metal frame then?
Yeah, metal frame. It doesn't come apart. I have like it's all solid, like solid welded, because I noticed with a lot of different tables that they become loose. There's a lot, especially for like the bigger guys and stuff, they wobble a lot. So
right.
But this one won't ever come loose on you, and it's going to be pretty sturdy. So
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm actually starting a company. It's going to be called Eternal Tables.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife are going to be launching it possibly at the event on Saturday. So I'll be taking orders if anybody's interested.
Very cool.
On wanting me to build them a table. So.
Right on, man. Yeah, you're very talented. That looks good. It looks like you put some time into it. Whoever is going to get that raffled off is going to be one lucky person.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I hope so. Yeah. Don't worry, Benny. I didn't forget about you. Yours is coming up next.
Woo! Veronica Knight says, hey, there you go, guys. Arm Wrestling Gospel. Love it. It has been certified by Miss Veronica Knight. We got to take that ball and run with it.
All right.
Hey, you guys, this venue looks very similar to where I used to pull. I believe actually where I first ran into Lorenzo. I don't remember if it was Tehachapi or Bakersfield, but we were pulling at a brewery down there. Raymond Cody, he went by Big Country.
Yep.
Are you guys familiar with him?
Yeah,
He was
Country
hosting
Crush, or used
practices
to be.
there. Yeah, Country Crush. Okay. I was looking through the pictures. It looks very similar. Can anyone comment on that? I know Veronica was there.
This current owner definitely hasn't done anything like this before, so maybe
You
a
know
previous
if
building, possibly.
You know if he's a newer owner of the facility?
Yeah, he's a newer owner, just a couple of
Okay.
years.
So maybe they did do something back then.
Yeah, so we were doing super matches down there. Also, I had a super match with Jake Smith that I lost. And stuff, but
Well, we've got Lorenzo Munoz just hopped into the chat. And
Hey,
I think
Lorenzo
we still have
remembers.
Veronica. Yeah. Do you remember, Lorenzo? Matt was just saying that the event that we're having this at Crusaders, he was looking at the pictures and it seems very, very similar to one he pulled at years ago with you, like where you were at. And I think he said Veronica was there as well. Lorenzo says crazy if it's the same place, so he must not remember. You don't remember if that was Bakersfield or not, Lorenzo? How many beers were you all drinking then?
She goes, man, that's it.
Man, I mean, that'd be so cool that like bring it back to the spot that we didn't even know that it was at before. And,
Yeah.
And then that's the reunion spot, you know? I mean, that's really cool.
Okay, well, Jaden Knight says it was called LCB, whatever it was. Lorenzo says not sure. He hasn't seen the pics, but Veronica says, "Oh yeah, Matt, that's where we met you guys at." Trying to remember if that's the same place. I don't know, man.
See when I get there, but I think it is.
Yeah, wherever it is, it looks really cool. It's got a nice looking stage. Veronica says Ray hosted lots of Tehachapi, good practices, great food.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Ray. I haven't seen him since I first started in this. Yeah, he was a cool guy. I remember when I first walked into practice and he was there, he was telling some cool like competition story of like Russia or something. And it was like a really cool, intense story, you know. But anyhow, we've been going for okay, now Veronica's saying local craft brewery is where it was. So I'm guessing that is somewhere else. But yeah, we've been going for over 2 hours now. This is officially the longest stream we've done in preparation for this event. But I enjoyed every minute of it. And especially now that everyone's wearing some weird fruit and shit on their heads. Or are those roses?
The kids have gotten bored.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Are we there? Are we there now? Okay. All right. We got the pirate. Benny. Oh, and you even have a pirate name, Benny Ringer. I love it.
Sir. There you go.
Right.
I found my name. It's the pirate.
Like Casey.
Ooh, those are some sexy bikes. Yes. All right, everybody. It's been good talking to you. I'm gonna get some dinner going with Malia here, and we're gonna get ready for this big bad boy. So everybody, safe travels to the event. I look forward to seeing you there. Yeah. Good luck to everybody, man. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody tuning in.
Yeah,
thank you everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a lovely
Saturday.
night.
All right, you too, man. Later.
All right, everybody.
Take it easy.
Good one, guys.